Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's fantastic you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on working Aussie pub band, the Cockroaches, and through their song "She's the One," we talked about how cool it is to be in somebody else's life, and to be their one, and for them to be your one. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, we're going to one of the most loved Aussie bands of all time today. These guys were formed in Adelaide. Yay, Adelaide. I'm in Adelaide by myself, and we're a bit proud of these guys. In 1973, Ian Moss on guitar, or Mossy as he's known, Steve Presswich on drums, Don Walker on keyboards, Jimmy Barnes or Barnesy on lead vocals, and Phil Small on bass. And we're talking about the iconic Cold Chisel today. Very much got their start in Adelaide, and the Largs Bay Hotel is a particular haunt of these guys that gave them their start. Now, between 1978 and 1984, they've released 5 studio albums. All of those got in the top 5 on the Aussie charts. There's a reformation in 1998 where they released one more. And then from 2012 to 2019, there have been an additional 3 albums. So that's 9 studio releases all up. All of those albums have been in the top 5 in the Australian charts, and there's been 30 singles amongst those albums. Now, I was very fortunate to see Cold Chisel last year, and believe me when I say these guys are an absolute powerhouse when it comes to music, songs that everybody knows. Wouldn't call them hard pelting rock, it's more cruisy, bluesy rock, and it just really typifies Cold Chisel, Choir Girl, Forever Now, Khe Sahn, When the War is Over, Bow River, Flame Trees. The songs just go on and on and on. In fact, I'm going to get onto some of those songs in a minute. So one of the best loved bands in Australian music history. Ian Moss, he's just got an incredible way of playing the guitar, incredible bluesy, cruisy kind of style, and we all know how incredible Jimmy Barnes' voice actually is. He can just yell out those tunes and just keep them going. And we don't underestimate Phil Small and Steve Presswich. That certainly created a very tight rhythm section from which Cold Chisel could flourish. And Don Walker, of course, the maestro and the predominant songwriter for Cold Chisel. Just an all-round, very tight musicianship band, very tight vocally, harmonies, just got the whole thing going on really. And with the incredible songs, just makes them such a compelling act. It's estimated they've sold about around 6 million albums. And most of them, interestingly, after their first breakup in 1984, they did finish off their career with Chisel's Last Stand, but they have come back a couple of times since then. Bit of sadness for Cold Chisel. In 2011, Steve Presswich did die. He was the original drummer for Cold Chisel, so it was a bit of a sad day for all of Australia when he died back in 2011. Now, these guys were inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame in 1993. ARIA stands for the Australian Record Industry Association, a well-deserved award, that is for sure. Now, there are many songs that we can talk about when we talk about Cold Chisel, but there's one song in particular that I wanted to talk today, and that is the song When the War is Over. This one and Forever Now were written by drummer Steve Presswich, and this is considered one of Australia's best songs, really. 61st in a top 100 Australian songs ever list. Whenever this song comes on, people just have to stop and listen. It's got just something about it. So when the war is over, now we're not talking about two armies against each other here. We're talking about a relationship that has gone into yelling and screaming and doing life together and all the rest of it. This is the sort of war we're talking about. We're talking about a war when people just can't get on with each other, but their love is just so compelling that when the war of words is over, and as the song says, we've got to start again. Because we're in each other's story. We're in each other's world, and we can't imagine not being in each other's world. But at times, oh boy, we wish it wasn't like it was. But when the war is over, we've got to start again. Starting again is like we forget about all the previous stuff. We kind of move on from it, because to have the person in your life is more important than not having them there. And so we'll forgive and we'll move on, and love will just take over so that we can be a two becoming one again when the war is over. Interesting, the word war, I could have used the word disagreement is over, or the disappointment and frustration is over, or when the sadness is over. But no, Steve Presswich has used the word war here. It really implies a relationship that's just really going through absolutely every bit of hell you can possibly imagine it to go through. But when the war is over, there's something quite convicting and quite beautiful about the words when the war is over. It's time to start again. Because we are in each other's story. We are in each other's world. We want the war to be over so that we can both start again. How does life start again? Well, there's got to be forgiveness of each other. CG, I'm really sorry I said those words. It wasn't very nice at the time, right? I'm feeling a little bit sad too. And when you can say sorry to each other, that's when truly is the war is over. Sometimes to get over a war, you might need to have a break, get away for a week or a few days and just kind of relax and recuperate. Then you can get back into it again. Hopefully we will learn from the war experiences that we have and think, well, okay, we don't want that to happen again. So what can we do differently to actually be different next time? We want the war to never start, really. We want the war to be over for good. It's going to involve both of you, both of us, both of we to be able to do that. We just can't move on and expect the war to just magically disappear. We need to make a conscious effort for the war to be over. Sure, if you're in the middle of war right now, but you really can't imagine life without that other person. I think about the U2 song With or Without You here as well. I can't live with and I can't live without. Kind of what we're talking about here. I'm going to stay in this as opposed to leaving it. That's what this is all about. You can just imagine what Steve must have been feeling when he wrote this song. He was thinking, oh my goodness, why am I even in this situation? Can this war be over so I can start again? So if you're in the midst of this right now, hang in there, guys. Try and see the relationship with new eyes. See it in a new way, and to see the person who you've fallen in love with in a new way, because it's worth it for the war to be over. How does war stop? It doesn't stop just by it magically disappearing. It starts by peace being in both of our lives, both of your lives, and for war not to be part of the world ever again. The main thing is that we learn from these experiences. We think, well, yeah, okay, what can we do differently next time? So if you do have a significant other in your world, perhaps pull them in front of this video and say, hey guys, this guy could be talking to us today. Do we want the war to be over? So we can start again. Well, I trust that will be an encouragement for you today. Well, on to the clips. And we have 3 live versions and 1 official clip today. So yes, we have to have When the War is Over. This came off the Circus Animals album of 1982. This is a live version, and Cold Chisel know that they've got one of these songs ever written in Australia, and they know what an actual privilege it is to be able to sing this song to a crowd. The crowd is hanging out for this song to be sung. The crowd will just soften. They will just sit and listen to this stunningly amazing song. Cold Chisel, in their usual way, they just produce it and they build up the expectation and they build up the anticipation for this song. And when Jimmy Barnes comes in with his higher version of this, and then the stunning "Ain't Nobody Gonna Steal This Heart Away" at the end, you just get goosebumps. There's a particular girl that the video camera focuses on in this particular clip, and just watch the emotions that she goes through. She can hardly contain herself with the memorizing performance that this song actually is. So there's that one. We then also got one of the Aussie songs, really. This is probably one of the best ever in Australia. Another Cold Chisel song. This is Khe Sahn. Came off the 1978 self-titled album, and this is just a very biographical song, but we know every line in this song and everything that goes into it, and the story of the guy and what he's saying as he just lives the life. In fact, he's flying choppers on an oil rig, and he's the nightlife driving him around the bend and all the rest of it. Everybody knows this song, Khe Sahn, off the 1978 self-titled album. Live version. We then got Ian Moss, who's got a pretty cool voice as well, taking the lead for Bow River. This one also came off the Circus Animals album of 1982, and this is just wanting to get away to a place called Bow River. I reckon it just escaped the world for a while. That's a live version of that one. We then also got the official clip of Flame Trees. This came off the last of the albums where Cold Chisel were together before the Reformation. This one came out in 1984 of the 20th Century album. And this is all about going back to your hometown, catching up with your mates and doing all of that sort of stuff. There's a really great story being told through this particular clip. So that's the official version of that one. All of those songs are classics. They really, really are. They just typify Cold Chisel to their absolute, incredible powerhouse of a band that these guys actually still are even today. Because there has been reformations with new drummers and all the rest of it. And so, they're still going. That is for sure. So all the links to those 4 songs are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from the Cockroaches, so if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another video, really awesome for you to do so. And if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, welcome to the channel, and I really trust this has been an encouragement for you today. And please note, everybody, the invitation below, that if you want me to look at an artist or a song, please drop it in the comments. I'm more than happy to do that one for you. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to one of the biggest acts in the world at the moment, and certainly has been for the last little while, and that is the 4 Guys with Coldplay. So until then, I'll catch you around.